Do I have a subsequent speaker for the pro side? So 4 fighting. Okay. Doing 2 minutes, okay? Okay, Chair recognizes Anthony Mathhew from Santiago for 2 minutes.
All right, everyone. My name is Anthony, like she said, and I just want to speak in favor of this bill, not just because he goes to my school, not just because he's a good friend of mine, but because the idea of finding people for these, it's the same way it applies to crime and punishment in our judicial system. Why do we put fines for, littering? Why do we make it against the law to break into things? Sure, is it bad? Yeah. But also it's a motivator to keep our society better and kind of counter these bad behaviors, because we want to all live peacefully, we want to all live in harmony with each other. And the same way you can motivate a person to not commit a crime, you can motivate a person to not get bad grades and bring down education levels, and those education levels would, by extension, would bring down funding for the school, which by extension would lead to more teachers getting fired and perpetuate that whole cycle of bad teaching and more students failing. So the point I'm trying to make is that finding students for these and that, it would mean that the students would probably not want to be involved in that. So they would not want to fail because they don't want to pay money, they don't want to do community service, they don't want their parents to be hounding after them, hey, you got to do your work. So it would just be a better motivator to get them in a better question.
All right, can I ask a question? Can I ask multiple questions? It's the same question? All right, well, are you aware that some of the people who get F's and D's probably wouldn't care that they're getting fined, and that and I was also
Am I aware that the people getting fined couldn't care less about their grades?
yeah, and you realize that they wouldn't care that they're getting fined. They don't care about it.
They might, but their parents might, and parents are very convincing when it comes to their children. If a kid acts out, then parents are usually there to correct.
Okay, you guys, seriously, in the interest of time, I cannot extend it. I still got to do closing speeches and stuff, so, and like 15. So, sorry. Do I have a... Oh, I need
notes. All right. Notes. No problem. Notes. Regina.
I'm choosing her because I'm happy to speak about it. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so you've got 2 minutes, right? Chair recognizes Megan. Oh gosh, what do you say? Canaan, for 2 minutes.
Okay, basically I just want to say one thing, and this is kind of the main issue I have with the bill, is it really offends what I value in actually going to school and obtaining an education. And I think that people should be really raised to actually think that they should love learning and appreciate the classes that they're in and appreciate what they're learning about history or math or science, because it's really important to know your world. And that's distracting, so I'm taking pictures of me. But anyway, I think that setting forth this additional pressure and obtaining certain levels is way too much for an education system and does not instill in people respect for the actual reasons that we go to school. And I just think that no one's really recognized that. And also, punishing parents doesn't really instill a good family structure, because it doesn't teach children to take responsibility for their own actions, if that's really what you want to boil it down to. And also, if you have a bad situation in a low income family, then you're just giving more issues between this parent-child dynamic that we all know that can be pretty delicate anyway. So I just don't think this is a good idea. Thanks. Yield my time to the chair.
Okay, cool. Chair, thank you.
What's the previous question?
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Chair will recognize Shayna Cookman for I'm going to do 2 minutes. Okay. Are you serious? Okay. So this bill
parameters of this bill fit an ideal person, you know, a person in a in a good income neighborhood, a person who has any health problems, does not have, has good teachers, has good parents. But as we all know, try as we might, this is not an ideal world, and people all have different issues, and everybody has something. I've learned that as I go through life. Everybody has a problem, and I feel like this bill does not address those problems, which makes it kind of unfair. And also, she just mentioned that it's important that people have good family structure, and you have to take responsibility for your own actions. Education is all about growth of your mind and growth of yourself. You need to take responsibility for your actions. You need to be educated so you make good choices, and you need to be motivated for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons. So I feel that this bill does not engender positive feelings towards education, towards family structure, and towards individuality. I yield my time to the chair.
Chair will recognize 2-minute closing speech by Fonzie.
Alright, my main opponent said she could become deaf and that could infringe upon her money and have her get a bad grade. But she could take the necessary precautions to ensure that she doesn't. She could have a note taker, so if she's not taking the ability she can take, I'm trying to say that that's her own fault. And the students who are already failing and don't really care are not going to rise from the ashes. They're going to keep failing until they leave high school and go work at Walmart. So they won't rise from the ashes. They're not motivated already. And when you say it doesn't motivate the students, they are motivated already. That just doesn't make any sense. And some people think that the kids do the community service, I've heard, the parents do it, so they can't just put it off on the kids to do it so they can motivate their kids. And some people say, one person said the students need to love learning, and this directly affects the students who don't love learning. They're the ones who just put their head down, don't care, and get F's without trying at all. So they obviously don't love learning. It's trying to make them try. Oh, and it doesn't have students take responsibility for their actions. It actually does, because if the parents get fined for it, and then they put something on their child, they could ground them, take away their phone. So they are taking responsibility for their actions. If they fail, their parents are taking that responsibility for their actions. I go back to the
Okay, we're going to vote on the bill. So all those in favor of it, please raise your hands.
In favor of it.
Okay, all those opposed to it?
Raise them really high.
Yeah.
Just,
You raise your hand?
I'm trying to tell this one. I tried to be nice, I raised my hand. Sorry, buddy. You win some, you lose some.
Any abstentions? Anyone abstaining? Okay. This bill fails 6 to 36. Okay, yeah, you guys, speakers, can I have the speakers stand up and introduce themselves, name the school, and then turn in your best speaker ballots to your seats.
Mathhew, Santiago High School.
Shana Cooperman, Palestine. I'm Megan Names from Katie School.
Anthony McElroy from Santiago High School.
Okay, and then can you bring your best speaker ballots to the front, please?
I turned it to worry when you guys said something. Thank you.
Okay.